Hi, everybody. My name's Bill Russell. I'm the Associate Dean International at the University of Dundee School of Business. And today we're very lucky to be talking to Brian McNicoll. He's the head of the Centre for Entrepreneurship here at the university. Welcome, Brian. Lovely to talk to you today. Maybe we start, if you just give us a little bit of a background of who you are and how you found your way to the University of Dundee.
Sure. So I was actually born in the city of Dundee, and I ended up going to study at the university, studied computing. I graduated in 2003. I then went on to start my own business, which was in computer games, mobile gaming. So we were one of the first mobile game development companies in Europe for smartphones. And we used to produce a game called Championship Manager, which is a famous football manager game, working with IDOS, who make Tomb Raider and so on. So we did that for many years, grew the company. We're also moved into Facebook gaming, grew the company to about 25 staff. I then got an exit from the company. We won a BAFTA award actually during that time, which was really quite exciting. And then I got my first, I did a bit of consultancy working with some local games companies in Dundee, because Dundee's known as a hub for gaming around the world, where Grand Theft Auto was originally made. So I was working with some local games companies and doing some teaching at local college and Abertay University. And then I got my first proper job at the university, working on a research project called Design in Action, which was a £4 million research project tied into the new V&A Museum Dundee. Originally it was, and the research project was trying to look at how better to embed design thinking into businesses across Scotland to help the Scottish economy. So I worked on that project for 4 years, which was really interesting. And then in July 16, I got the opportunity to lead the Centre for Entrepreneurship, and that's where I am now.
Okay. Now, the Centre for Entrepreneurship is actually on the city campus. It's actually quite close to the hub of what goes on campus. I rather like it. It's got a sort of a nice cubbyhole sort of approach to it. Can you describe a little bit about the actual centre and the facilities which are in it?
Sure. So there's always been quite a like entrepreneurial activity around the university and all the different schools and so on. But 4 or 5 years ago, the university and senior management decided we needed a focal point and something to connect it all. And that was the physical Centre for Entrepreneurship building. And we went into partnership with a company, an organisation called Elevator, who are a social enterprise who run the Business Gateway contract in Dundee, Perth, Aberdeen, and now they've moved into the central belt as well of Scotland. The Business Gateway is a kind of first port of call for anybody in any city to get business advice.
Okay.
So Elevator are our partners for the centre, and it was a refit of a previous used to be a bookshop on campus, and
That's right,
it was about £250,000 altogether. And what we've produced is this cutting edge facility that's not like a classroom, and that was purposely the whole idea. The aesthetic was to make it feel like quite an exciting 21st century space. We took inspiration from all over the world, from entrepreneurial hubs in Scandinavia, Boston, Barcelona, places like that. And when you go in, there's a kind of hot desk area. There's no kind of receptionist or anything. It's similar to like an Apple store, for example. There's kind of cool little Wendy House meeting pods. And then ourselves, my team and the Elevator team are in there. And then there's a business accelerator space at the back where our businesses are based, working on their business 9 to 5. And then in the evenings, we do a lot of our own programs with students and so on from the university. And the last thing I should say is it's a public access facility because it's this joint partnership. So anyone in the city can come in, walk in and get some business advice, have a meeting and so on. So for any students looking to come to university, wanting to learn enterprising skills first and foremost, and those are the skills that entrepreneurs use every single day. Not necessarily even wanting to be an entrepreneur, but you can use these skills because they're very desirable for your career progression, and for big companies are always looking for people who can think entrepreneurially. But we obviously also have that hands-on and intensive support for those who want to go on the full journey of starting their own business.
Okay. So one of the really nice things I've always thought about the centre is that it's not part of the business school. It's actually part of the university, and it allows this interaction between entrepreneurial spirited students, which come from all of the schools, whether they come from life sciences or engineering or computing or wherever medicine, wherever they want to come from. Can you tell us a little bit about how the students can mix, but making use of the centre as the interface between all of these different groups of students?
Yeah, it's a good point, because traditionally when you go to university, you're in your course and your degree, and your classmates are the people you see most throughout your 4 years if you're an undergraduate, or 1 year if you're postgraduate, or for example. However, one of the good things with the centre is that, for instance, our Enterprise Challenge program, which is the 8-week evening program that runs each semester, 5 to 7 p.m, a couple of evenings a week. It's open to all students and staff and recent graduates, and you're getting into a team with students from all different schools, whether it's dentistry, medicine, humanities, business, wherever, design, and you're getting to come up with new ideas, and meeting these new people you would never meet any other way, apart from maybe in the sports society or sports clubs or societies. So that's always one of the real positives that people say when they go on the Enterprise Challenge program, for example, is just meeting they would never have met students from other schools. And of course, this has been virtually since March last year. And so we've had some people exploring business ideas they've never actually met in person. It's all been over video. But hopefully they'll be able to meet up soon. But the beauty of, as well, of bringing the different disciplines together is that's where the sparks happen. Like, because people think differently, and typically if you're in engineering or business or art and design or whatever, you all think differently, and different parts of your brain work better than others, depending on your makeup. So this is where sparks happen, and innovative ideas can come forward. And for business students, for example, who'd be good at commercially thinking about how the business model could work, and a lot of business students are looking to meet technical people, software developers. So we could, if there's computing students, they could meet up with them, or as I said, design students looking for their idea visualized. So and these disciplines need business knowledge. So it's a really good way of bringing all the different skills together and see what has.
Yeah, no, I think that's exactly right. The oddest thing is that if you are talking to yourself, then you're not actually learning anything. You already know the same thing as the other person. It's when you're talking to people which are different, they bring the different skills, the different ideas, and between you can create something much better than either of you can ever produce as you go along.
Yeah.
We've done a number of events with you over the years, and I've always been impressed by the Entrepreneurship Centre, but also by the links that the Entrepreneurship Centre has with entrepreneurs and business people outside of the university. Can you tell us a little bit about how those links are advantageous to the students?
Yeah, one of the really positive things I think with engaging with the centre is that you do get access to these. It could just be mentors of work for organisations as well. So it's a really good way to expand your network. We bring in these people to deliver sessions on our extracurricular programs, and you get the opportunity to actually meet them. So it's real life experts we're bringing in, So not just academics, which academic expertise, which you would get through your studies. So it's a really good way to complement that. It's also a really good way of, as I mentioned, for your CV to demonstrate what you've done with your studies, because we can give certificates and so on. And as I said, if you want to take your business idea further forward, it'll get scrutinised by, an experienced panel of judges, and you might be able to win some seed funding and so on. So it's a good way to expand your network. We also run masterclass talks. So we do 10 of these each academic year, one for every single school. And you can find these on our website, and actually watch some of them back. If you just go to dundee.ac.uk/entrepreneurship, and you're getting to hear the journeys of successful entrepreneurs, get to ask them questions, and you can link with them on LinkedIn, for example. So yeah, it's a good way of expanding your network and getting knowledge that you perhaps wouldn't get in from a traditional way of studying.
There's always been, I'm impressed by the number of undergraduate students, first degree students, plus also master's students and PhD students from the business programs, which find their way very quickly to the Entrepreneurship Centre. Anybody who's got any interest in firms and building ideas and making them commercially available do find their way to you incredibly quickly, and always enthusiastic about the whole process. Listen, Brian, thank you very much for talking to us today. You're fabulous and wonderful, and the Centre's fabulous and wonderful. And I really do hope that the business students make full use of their opportunities in your Centre when they come to Dundee. So look after yourself, and we'll talk to you sometime soon. Bye now.
Thanks, Bill, and I hope to see some of you, the viewers today, on campus at some point as students of the university, and we would love to welcome them to the Centre.
Excellent.
Cheers.
Bye now.
Bye.